There was love, and there was another. Typically, a sane person would go for love, but obviously I was not sane. So I went for the other. I just like to think he was love. It was obvious he was not love. But then, it's not like I would know love. He stood in my face holding a placard and on its identity clearly written. But there was one thing I was sure of. There was one thing I was quite certain about. I knew what love wasn't. Love wasn't the depression and the dejection. It wasn't the despair I felt every time I came down from my roller coaster of my booze and drug fest. No. Love wasn't the reckless abandon or the careless manner in which I threw caution to the wind every time we intercoursed. Love wasn't empty promises. It wasn't broken vows. Vows he saw to me under the dim light of the moon while the stars stood detached while they turned witnesses to his promises of pleasures. Promises that stood solemn and sure at that time, but they're as illusory as they come. Love wasn't all that. Love never was. My love. You may ask, you may wonder why I chose to go with him. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it was the words, the sweet words he whispered in my ears under the dark sky spotted with an array of pearly stars. The words they were only lies. They were sharp. They were untrue. Pieces of broken glass. There was this one piece that had the shape of a mangled heart. I saved it. It was all brought some twisted sense of release every time it danced on my skin. And dance it did, sometimes more fiercely than the other times. And on those times, laced in the trickles of blood was the evident tinge of regret and hopelessness flowing with it. The cutting did me no good. But one. It was able to hide the needle marks on my arms, well, coupled with the long sleeve, that is. The marks, they were the only physical evidence of my true state, my wretchedness. Because I was well versed in the art of obscurity. I was all smiles and no worries. I was all cares and no fears. I was the one whose torment and misery were perfectly hidden under long sleeves. The smile, my smile was perfected, consistent practice. The pain and the hurt behind clear eyes, you would never see it. The eyes, they were really only mirrors, reflecting the outside but never the turmoil inside. Eyes that had gone to sleep, probably for all eternity. That is what my love does to me. My love, or the one I chose to call love. He leaves me. He leaves me begging and pleading and groveling in the dirt. He leaves without second thoughts to my pride, my confidence, my self-worth. He lives with the last semblance of self-esteem I ever possessed. He leaves me broken. But he never leaves me destitute. He never leaves me empty. He's that kind. On the nightstand at the mementos he leaves me with shame, guilt, regret, anguish and despair. The blanket he wraps me with, and his embrace, as cold and comforting as contempt and disdain could ever feel. The scorn on his face, his disgust for whom I had become, I cannot understand. Can't. And every morning, I wake up to a reality of mementos, of blankets, and of embraces.